What's going on, folks? Ted from Immersion here, and several of you let me know that the survey for the newest Unearthed Arcana has released. I will say this, like I say all the time, if you have feelings, whether strongly for or strongly against, about this new Unearthed Arcana, which I know has been very divisive, some people seem to be all for the concept of subclasses that can be spread across multiple classes. Others are, this is breaking down the foundations of D&D, everything is the worst. Whatever you feel, put it in the survey, but I'll say this with, you got to take it a step further. Put it in the survey with thought and explain why you like something or why you don't like something. Don't just say, this is bullshit, you're ruining my D&D, or whatever the case may be. Don't do that. You might feel that way, and you can allude to that, but it doesn't help anyone if that's what you put. That's why I like to do these videos where I fill out the survey to show you what kind of stuff I'm putting in there, because I want to fill this out well, and I want to have my feedback considered. And if I'm just trash talking and saying nonsense, no one's going to take me seriously. But if I try to come at this from a game design standpoint and be like, hey, I like this aspect, but I don't like the fact that bards get shafted and will never be able to get all the class features, which is how I feel. So I'm going to talk about that. So let's go over to the Wizards of the Coast website. I will put a link in the description if you'd like to go and fill this out for yourself. They only keep these open for a short period of time, which does seem to bother me, or it seems silly and bothers me that this might be open for a week. It might be open for 3 days. They don't tell you, and that's another problem. It says it will be open for about 2 weeks. Is about 2 weeks 2 weeks? Is it 3 weeks? I don't know, but what I would say is, unless you have plans to playtest this within the next week or two, fill it out now. Or you'll forget, and then you'll go to do it, and it'll be closed. So I clicked on it. All right, I'm going to click it here. I have this open right here, which is the actual Unearthed Arcana. Let's go through it. Would you like to rate the material? Yes, I would. What's the first edition you played for D&D? Third. Before reading this Unearthed Arcana, are you interested in playing any of the following characters in D&D? Before I read the Unearthed Arcana, I had not considered playing in Strixhaven because I didn't know what it is, because I don't know Magic the Gathering. A student of any kind? No, I hadn't really considered any of these, honestly. I didn't even consider the concept of a subclass being available to multiple classes. Have I play-tested the Mage of Lorehold subclass? No. I don't have time to play games, so I definitely don't have time to test it. I mean, I've been finding more and more time in the evenings to like carve out 2 or 3 hours where I can work on videos or other stuff, occasionally doing a live stream. So maybe I'll be able to start finding the time to play in different games. But let's go ahead and review the Mage of Strixhaven. So it's going to go through and tell us, or sorry, the Mage of Lorehold, rather. It's going to go through all of it. So one thing I wanted to discuss right here is just the bit about at higher levels. So it says, like regular subclass, the subclass you choose here grants your character new abilities at higher levels. When your character would normally gain a new subclass feature, you gain a feature from this subclass. All the features detailed here have a level prerequisite. For example, to gain a feature noted as level 6+, your character must be 6th level or higher. So if you're a wizard with the Mage of Prismari subclass, you must be 6th level or higher to gain it. And then here's the part we need to look. When you reach certain levels, you might be eligible to choose from among multiple features in the subclass. When you reach such a point, you select one of the features for your character to gain. Unless otherwise specified, you gain no more than one subclass feature at a time. For example, if you're a bard with the Mage of Lorehold subclass, at 14th level you gain your choice of either the War Echoes feature or the History's Whim feature, not both, which is kind of shitty. And that's something I'm going to say. So let's go ahead and look. So the Mage of Lorehold overall. So this was the one that gives you the pet. I'm a fan of pet classes, so I will say that I am satisfied. Then it says, how do you feel it as a bard, warlock, or wizard? I'm going to say I'm very dissatisfied as a bard because I won't ever have access to all of the features, which is kind of dumb. And then it's, how do you feel about it as a wizard or a warlock? Let's see. I don't think I have really any specific opinions between the two. I think I'd probably say I'm more satisfied with the wizard just because it's a wizard, and I feel like that's better overall than than being a warlock. I remember this does take the place of, this is your subclass. You would still have access to things like pacts for the warlock, so you could potentially look into that depending on how you want to handle it. But let's see. All right, let's say I'm going to say that I'm satisfied for the slightly satisfied for the warlock and satisfied for the wizard. All right, so they get new spells. How do we feel about that? I think this is a solid list. Nox, Spirit Guardians, yeah, we're very satisfied with the Lorehold spells. I'm very satisfied with the Ancient Companion because I love pets. Let's go look at lessons from the past. So this is when you bond with your companion, depending on the type of companion, you get some other features. The healer one, your hit point maximum increases by an amount equal to your level. When you regain hit points from a spell, you regain an additional d8 hit points. I think that's pretty good. Sage is advantage on pretty much all knowledge checks, and when you damage a creature with a first level spell, you deal extra d8 force damage. And Warrior, if you use your action to cast a cantrip, you can make one weapon attack as part of that action. If it hits, it does an extra d8 radiant damage. And these are just always on features, so you don't have to worry about using them a specific amount of time. The only thing I don't like is it doesn't specify here under the healer one. I assume, it's when you bond with your ancient companion, you get the following benefits. If you bond with a new companion, you get the new benefits. So I was going to say, it doesn't say, like, if I bonded with my companion at level 6, and then I'm level 7, I don't get a hit point maximum increase of 1, because it says it's based on your level when you do this, but you could always, re-up it later. Okay. So... I think pretty much. I think I'm satisfied with all 3 lessons of the past. We get War Echoes. Once per turn, when a creature hits a target with an attack roll, use a reaction to force them to make a Wisdom save. The target becomes vulnerable. Yeah, we're very satisfied with vulnerability. And then History's Whims. Yeah, I'm only slightly satisfied with History's Whims. I don't think I have anything specific to say about this class, so we're gonna move on. Mage of Prismari. Okay. Mage of Prismari is next. They get... Now, one thing I wasn't sure of is, since these get 2 features at level 1, do I have to choose between the 2 level 1 features, or do I get both of them? Because if that's the case, that's dumb. Why would I ever choose the one that gives me 2 skills when I can get all these other unique abilities? Dash is a bonus action. Oh, well, let's start at the top, right? How do we feel about this one? Slightly satisfied, and this was available to Druid, Sorcerer, and Wizard. Now, this one doesn't get any extra spells, so that's something to consider. I don't know. I guess you have to think about it as a druid. You could possibly use these abilities in wild shape because they're not spells. You know what? I think I'm probably just, like, slightly satisfied on all 3. Slightly dissatisfied on the sorcerer because it's still a sorcerer. Creative skills, sure. Okay, Kinetic Ancestry. Okay, Ice Water swirls around you. Yep, Dash is a bonus action, which is nice. That's an always-on thing. Oh no, you can use this bonus action proficiency bonus times per long rest. You can move across water. You leave a space, they make a strength save. Scorching Swirl. You can force a creature to make a dex save, take some damage. Thunderlight Jaunt. You can move through creature space and it loses... it gets no opportunity attacks against you. I guess you know what? I'm really just slightly satisfied, I think, with this whole version of this subclass. Gain resistance to a damage type, Cold Fire Lightning. When you cast a spell using a spell slot of the chosen damage. You can Spectacular Aura of Artistry, which extends 5 feet in every direction. While the aura is active, each creature of your choice has resistance to your damage type. I mean, that's not bad. So I'll say satisfied for that one. Focused Expression. Once per turn, when you deal damage, you gain an additional effect. Cold. One of the targets of your choice takes an additional d6 cold damage, must make a con save. Their speed is reduced. Fire is fire damage. And they get temporary hit points. Lightning is d6 lightning and no reaction. So we'll say we're satisfied with that. An impeccable physicality, proficiency in dex saves. And when you make a dex save, you treat. Yeah, we're satisfied with that too. Again, I'm not like thrilled about this one. All right, Quandrix. Now this one is Sorcerer Wizard. Yeah. They get some new spells. I'm satisfied, slightly satisfied, again, with all of these. Satisfied that they get extra spells, that's always nice. Okay, this is your mathematician type, your homework nerd wizard. Diminishing function, supplemental function. We're dealing with probability here. So, I guess it's not necessarily, I guess they're all kind of nerds, right? They're all magic school people. So diminishing function, choose a random creature, make a wisdom save. We must roll a 6 and subtract it from the next attack roll they made. Supplemental is the opposite, but it's an ally that gets to add a d6 to an attack roll or saving throw, whereas the diminishing one is only attack rolls. So it's like a lesser cutting words. I'll say I'm slightly satisfied with that. Velocity shift. Creature starts its turn within 30 feet of you. You can use your reaction to make the creature make a charisma save. On a failure, they're teleported to an unoccupied space 30 feet away. Was satisfied with that, I guess. Null equation. Once per turn, immediately after dealing damage to a creature, you can force it to make a con save. On a failure, it's disadvantage on strength and dex saves, and its weapons attacks deal half damage. Okay, we're satisfied with that one. And then lastly, quantum tunneling. Resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, slashing damage, which is nice. Additionally, you can move through creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain, but you only take a d10. You take a d10 force damage for every 5 feet you move while inside another creature. If you end your turn inside an object, you are shunted into the nearest unoccupied space you last occupied. Sam, very satisfied with that one. Okay, whoops. No, I have not playtested it. There we go. Have I playtested Silverquill? No, but let's take a look. Eloquent appearance, Sacred Flame, Vicious Mockery, proficiency in a skill. Yeah, we're satisfied. I'm gonna say I'm satisfied with this one, and I think I'm slightly satisfied for all three. I am satisfied with Eloquent Apprentice, Silvery Barbs. Immediately after a creature hits you, succeeds on an attack roll, ability check or saving throw, use your reaction to demoralize them. Unless it's being immune to being charmed, it rolls a d20. Must use the lower roll. If the attack roll, ability check or saving throw then fails, you can choose a different creature within 60 feet. That creature is empowered and gets can reroll one attack roll, ability check or saving throw within the next minute. This is... What is this? Proficiency bonus. Once used, an ability or saving throw can't reroll. You can't use this feature again until you finish a long rest unless you expend a spell slot. So we are only slightly satisfied with that one then. Inky Shroud. You can cast Darkness. It's a free spell. Cast a spell without expending a spell slot. Do so again when you finish a long rest. When you cast a spell in this way, you can see through it normally, and when a creature you can see starts its turn there, it takes 2d10 psychic damage. And you can cast it normally by using spell slots of 2nd level or higher. Yeah, we're satisfied with that. Infusion of Eloquence. Let's see. Any creature damaged by the spell. Oh, choose a spell that does psychic or radiant damage. Any creature damage takes extra damage equal to your proficiency bonus and has its emotions swayed. It's either frightened with psychic or charmed with radiant. We are satisfied with that. And then lastly is Word of Power. Oh, I guess there's another mage. I didn't realize. When you target the target of your Silvery Barbs fails an ability check or saving throw because of our reroll, you can invoke the word to give them vulnerability to the damage, or resist. Yeah, so we're gonna say we're satisfied with that as well. All right, next up, what did I miss? Oh, oops. Okay. Next up is the Mage of Witherbloom. This is, I think, the last one. So this one's Druid and Warlock. We're gonna say slightly satisfied. a little more satisfied with it, and we're satisfied with the spells. We're always satisfied with extra spells. So level 1, we can either do one of the following as a bonus action for a minute. You can expend and roll a hit die. Oh, we'll get some healing there. Or when you deal damage, you can change it to necrotic and ignore resistance to necrotic damage. Satisfied with essence tap. And when you finish proficiency with herbalism kit, when you finish a long rest, you can basically make a potion. You can do one of the following effects: fortifying, resistance to cold, fire, necrotic, poison, or radiant, quickening, 2d6 hit points, and cures a disease, or toxifying. If you hit a creature for 1 hour, the target takes 2d6 poison damage. I'm satisfied with that. Wither Bloom Adept. Once per turn, when you deal necrotic damage and restore hit points, one target of the spell takes additional damage or regains additional hit points equal to your proficiency bonus. Satisfied. Withering Vortex. When you cast a spell using a spell slot that deals necrotic damage, you drain an amount of life force equal to half the damage dealt to the creature. One creature other than you can see regains a number of hit points. Oh, so it's a damaging heal. I like that too. How interested are you playing? I'm kind of uninterested in playing any of these, if I'm being honest with you. That's what I'm going to put. All right, any other comments? If this is the future of D&D 5e, you need to adapt this concept for martial classes as well. Also, why are none of these subclasses available to clerics? Several folks have informed me that there are multiple cleric cards in the Strixhaven set. They're dwarven clerics, but I don't want to say that and be off base. Additionally, I'd remove the concept of not being able to choose all of the abilities your subclass has access to. Subclass has access to. That's all I have to say. Hit submit. Survey is done. And there we go. So there you go, folks. That's my thought. I'm kind of lukewarm on the whole thing. I like the concept of the subclasses across multiple classes. I think to have it be effective, you do need to port it to martial classes. I think you need to remove the nonsense of I only get to pick and choose some, especially because it's kind of annoying when you look at, like, the Bard will never be able to get all of them. The Sorcerer can get all of them, but it doesn't get the last one till, like, level 18, where everybody else would have it since 14. So there's a little bit of disparity there, but I'm curious. What did you think about this Unearthed Arcana? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you go fill out the survey as well. I will see you all next time.